From August 27th to September 7th this year, Chicago will be the host city to the third American Games, the biggest and most spectacular sporting event held in the Western Hemisphere. WBKB will be telecasting these games exclusively. Of the 27 nations from North, Central, and South America participating in these games, the majority are Spanish-speaking, many with histories and traditions older than those of the United States. The main tradition of many of these Spanish-speaking nations is the corrida de toros, the bullfight. Good evening, I'm Fred Casper. Further Pan-American understanding, WBKB tonight brings you a national television first, a videotaped afternoon of bullfighting from Mexico City. We wish to thank Mr. Emilio Escarga, distinguished Mexican citizen, and his company, El Sistema Mexicano, for their cooperation in supplying these exclusive television tapes. When half the hemisphere in which we live maintains such a centuries-old tradition as the corrida de toros, the bullfight, we believe it's well worth our while to seek some understanding of it. Bullfighting is a tradition among Spanish-speaking peoples that dates back several hundred years to the mother country of Spain, and is a tradition that archaeologists date back 5,000 years to the island of Crete. Our own culture in various art forms reflects interest in this tradition, in music, in books, and in painting and sculpture. To assist in tonight's presentation, we have with us the Reverend Patrick McPolin, Roman Catholic pastor of Immaculate Heart of Mary Church. Senor Louis F. Moya, Vice President of the Mexican Chamber of Commerce in Chicago. Senor Anthony Perez, Committee Chairman in charge of Latin American groups participating in Pan American Games. And Dr. Jose Sanchez, Professor of Spanish at the University of Illinois and Consultant for Latin American Affairs at Pan American Games. And Senor Carlos Arriba, well-known Mexican bullfight expert and radio personality now residing in Chicago. Carlos will provide the commentary for tonight's program.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you very much. But before we start, I'd like to stress a point and make it very clear.
Go right ahead, sir.
Well, a bullfight is in no way a fight because the matador never fights back. The only one that does the fighting is a bull. On the contrary, the matador only eludes the charge gracefully. It's not even a sport. It's not a contest. It's more like a ritual. I could very firmly say it's an art. It depends the way the matador works with the bull, always in the face of death, and the way he kills him through the traditional way of doing it that makes the quality of the aesthetic of the fight. That's what a bullfight is.
Carlos, I'm glad you brought that up. There's some points that we'd like to know about the Latin American viewpoint as far as bullfighting is concerned. What is the philosophy of bullfighting?
Well, the philosophy and the origin at the same time come from a very old time. And it is that it's to show the bravery of a man. That's what it is. And it comes from a very old time because it started back in when the Spanish courts used to put a big show for the people to enjoy. And, of course, they had to feed the people. And they used to bring in bulls to be killed in front of them. And a man used to come out and to show his bravery in front of his lady, the lady of his dreams, the king or the queen, or just to his companions, make a dedication of the death of the bull, and all by himself, with one of those old big swords they used to handle, come out and kill the bull, a brave bull. That's what it was.
Father McPolin, as an American, would you say that it is torture for the bull in a bullfight?
Fred, there's no maneuver in all of bullfighting that has as its object the inflicting of torture upon the bull. Neither is there any teasing of the animal. The picks, the banderillas, tend to spur up the courage of a brave bull. And if the bull is cowardly, then yes, the picks, the banderillas may inflict pain, but immediately the crowd, the people, appeal that that animal be withdrawn from the bull ring and a new brave bull be brought in.
Senor Moya, how do Latin Americans feel about animals in general?
Well, we love animals in Mexico, Central America, or South America, whether they be dogs, horses, or bulls. Yes, we do love animals, all animals in Latin America, but we appraise men higher.
Dr. Sanchez, turn the tables. What do Latin Americans think about some of our activities, such as football or boxing?
The popular American sports, such as the ones that you just mentioned, and baseball also, are equal contests, well balanced. Some of the contestants properly chosen, such as in the case of boxing. Whereas in the case of the bullfight, as you can evidently see, it's two unequal, unbalanced forces. And we know very well what's going to happen in the case of the bullfight. We also, on the other hand, we do not know what's going to happen in the case of the baseball or the boxing match or the football game. As Mr. Moya indicated a second ago, bullfighting is an art. It's a ritual with tremendous amount of ceremonial protocol that necessitates all this paraphernalia, the plaza and the people, and all the beautiful pageantry that we see in the plazas of Spain and Latin America.
Thank you. Senor Perez, do you think that Americans are intolerant of bullfighting?
Intolerant, Fred? No. There is a great lack of knowledge towards bullfighting in the United States. And I will use the example of opera and classical music. If a larger number of the peoples of the United States could be exposed to opera or classical music, they will learn how to appreciate it. And therefore, there will be an increase on the likings of these people toward opera or classical music. The same thing would happen if these people would be exposed to bullfighting, because bullfighting, as Mr. Uribe mentioned at the beginning, is essentially an art.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your comments. We'll call upon you just again a little bit later this evening to give us some further viewpoints and pointers on bullfighting.